Right now, there's something in your wallet actively repelling money away from you. The Jewish sages discovered this 3,000 years ago, and you probably have all three of these wealth blockers in your wallet right now. Before I reveal what they are, I need you to do something. Pause this video. Go get your wallet. I'm serious. This won't work unless you have it in your hands. The teaching I'm about to share has been passed down through 60 generations of my family, and it requires your participation, not just your attention. Are you back? Good. Now hold that wallet in your hands. Feel its weight. In a few minutes, you're going to open it, and what you find inside might shock you. But first, you need to understand why you're here. If you've clicked on this video, it's not an accident. There are no accidents when it comes to money. You're here because somewhere deep inside, you know something is off. You work hard, you do everything right, you follow the advice, you budget, you save, you invest. And yet, at the end of the month, the money disappears. You look at your account and you don't understand where it went. Let me tell you something. The problem isn't your effort. It's not your intelligence. It's not even your faith. It's a silent blockage that's been operating against you every single day. And it's been hiding in the one place you never thought to look. My name is Rabbi Shimon. I'm 83 years old, and I've spent more than 60 years studying the Torah, the Talmud, and the Kabbalah. What I'm going to share with you today, you won't find in any financial book. You won't hear it from your banker or your financial advisor. This is ancient wisdom that has helped my people build and protect wealth through the darkest times in human history, through expulsions, through wars, through economic collapses that destroyed nations. And I need to tell you something that might sound strange. This teaching isn't mine. It was given to me on a cold autumn night when I was 19 years old. The night my grandfather called me into his study and showed me something that changed my relationship with money forever. I remember that night like it was yesterday. The heavy wooden door, the smell of old books mixed with cedar, a single candle burning in the corner. My grandfather was 82 years old, then the same age I am now. He had seen things: war, scarcity, rebuilding, prosperity. He had eyes that looked through you, not at you. He sat in his dark leather chair and stared at me in silence for what felt like an eternity. Then he said one sentence that I will never forget. Your wallet is not just a place to keep things. It is a living vessel, and what you keep inside it determines whether wealth flows toward you or runs away from you forever. I was 19. I thought he was being poetic. I smiled politely, the way young people do when old men speak in metaphors. And he saw right through me. He always did. Then he stood up, walked to one of the shelves, and pulled out an ancient text. He opened it to a specific page and showed me something that made my blood run cold. There it was written centuries ago, a direct teaching from the Talmud about how physical objects carry an energetic signature, about how the wallet functions as a magnetic field that either attracts wealth or repels it, depending on what you keep inside. It wasn't poetry. It wasn't a metaphor. It was a law, observed, recorded, and transmitted by Jewish merchants, bankers, and scholars who knew how to build and protect wealth, even in the most impossible circumstances. My grandfather looked at me again and said simply, "Now, open your wallet." I opened it, and what I saw paralyzed me. Now, I want you to do the same. Open your wallet. Don't just glance at it. Really look at it. Look at everything inside. Every card, every receipt, every photograph, every piece of paper. What you're about to discover is this. The Talmud teaches that every physical object has an energetic signature. Everything, without exception. This isn't mysticism. This isn't superstition. It's a principle that even modern physics is beginning to confirm. Everything in the material world vibrates at a specific frequency, your money vibrates. Your wallet vibrates. And the objects you place next to your money are either in harmony with that frequency or they're destroying it completely. The ancient rabbis observed generation after generation that certain objects kept near money caused financial stagnation losses and scarcity, while other objects amplified wealth and created an invisible protection around the finances of whoever carried them. This wasn't guesswork. This was documented wisdom, verified and transmitted from master to student across thousands of years. The Kabbalah teaches that every vessel must be purified before it can receive blessing. Your wallet is a vessel. And if that vessel is contaminated, abundance will pass close by, but it will never enter. It stays outside like a door that never finishes opening. Now let me show you exactly what is contaminating your vessel and how to eliminate it today, once and for all. The first thing you need to remove might seem too simple. Old receipts. Yes, those pieces of paper you get from any store, from the supermarket, from a restaurant. I know what you're thinking. Receipts. That's it. Listen carefully, because this is far more important than it seems. In the Kabbalah, we teach that every financial transaction leaves an energetic mark. When you buy something, there's an exchange. Money goes out, and the receipt is the physical proof of that exit. A receipt is a document of loss. It's the record of something that left. It's in a way the goodbye note from your money. When you keep old receipts in your wallet, you're surrounding your money with the energy of exit. You're accumulating little goodbyes right next to what you're trying to preserve. The Talmud teaches that the wise man guards the entrance to his storehouse. Your wallet is your storehouse. Every old receipt kept there is like leaving a door slightly open through which your financial energy escapes little by little. I discovered this when I was 28 years old. One day, while emptying my wallet to organize it, I counted 23 old receipts, 23 records of money, leaving my life stored right next to the money I was trying to keep. That same night, I threw them all away. 11 days later, I received an unexpected payment from a project I had already given up on. Coincidence? After more than 60 years observing this pattern in thousands of people, I can tell you with absolute clarity that I don't believe in coincidences. But let me tell you about Sarah. She was 52 years old when she came to me, a marketing director at a pharmaceutical company, hard-working woman, smart, organized. But her finances were stuck. She had been making the same salary for 7 years. No raises, no bonuses. Nothing changed no matter what she did. I asked her to show me her wallet. She opened it, and there they were. Receipts, dozens of them. Some were 3 months old. One was from a coffee shop that had closed down 6 months earlier. I told her what I'm telling you now. Every one of these is a signature of money leaving. You're carrying a museum of financial exits everywhere you go. She looked at me like I was crazy. She said, "Rabbi, these are just pieces of paper. How can paper affect my income?" I didn't argue. I just said, "Trust me for 1 week. Remove every single receipt. Keep your wallet clean. See what happens." She called me 9 days later. Her voice was shaking. "Rabbi, I don't know how to explain this. My boss called me into his office yesterday. They're restructuring the department, and they're giving me a 15% raise and a new position. It came out of nowhere." I asked her, "Did you remove the receipts?" She said yes. I asked her, "Did you believe it would work?" She said no. And that's the beauty of this. It doesn't require your belief. It requires your obedience to a law that's been operating since the beginning of time. What you must do today is simple. Before you go to sleep tonight, remove every single receipt from your wallet. If you need to keep one for tax purposes or business reasons, put it somewhere else. A folder, an envelope, a drawer, but never next to your money. Now, pay attention to this next point because almost nobody notices it. Photographs. I know. You didn't expect this. I'm not telling you not to love your family. I'm telling you something much more concrete and powerful. In Jewish tradition, the wallet has one sacred purpose: to be a vessel of financial energy. When you place a photograph inside it, whether it's of your child, your spouse, or your parents, you're mixing emotional energy with financial energy in the same space. And the Kabbalah is very clear about this. When you mix two different energies in the same vessel, both of them weaken. Both, without exception. There's something even deeper here that modern psychology also confirms. Every time you open your wallet to pay for something and you see the face of someone you love, your mind begins to associate the act of spending with an emotional connection. An invisible link is created that can lead to impulsive decisions and unnecessary expenses. The Talmud says, do not place the sacred next to the mundane, because both lose their power. Your relationships are sacred. Money is a practical tool. They should not share the same space. I learned this the hard way. When I was 34 years old, I kept a photograph of my daughter in my wallet. She was 7 at the time. Beautiful child. Every time I opened my wallet, I saw her face. And every time I saw her face, I felt something. Guilt if I didn't spend. Joy if I did spend on her. Anxiety about whether I was providing enough. Within 6 months, my spending had increased by 40%. I didn't even realize it was happening. It was small things. An extra toy here, a nicer dinner there, gifts I didn't need to buy. I wasn't being financially irresponsible in an obvious way. I was being emotionally manipulated by my own wallet. My grandfather noticed. He said, Shimon, why do you carry her picture there? I said, so I remember why I work. He said, you don't need a picture to remember why you work. You need clarity to work well. Remove it. I removed it. Within 3 weeks, my spending normalized. Not because I loved my daughter less, but because I stopped making financial decisions through an emotional filter every single time I reach for my wallet. What you must do is this. Remove the photographs from your wallet. Place them somewhere you can see them and feel them without mixing that energy with your money. Put them on your desk, in your car, on your phone's wallpaper, but not in your wallet. And now the most powerful point of all, expired cards, expired documents. This is the most powerful of the three. This is what my grandfather saved for the end of that night. In Jewish mystical tradition, time is a living force. When something expires, it doesn't just become useless. It becomes a channel of dead energy. The Kabbalah calls this energy Klipot, which means shell or husk. It's the residual energy of something that once had life, but is now empty. When you keep expired cards in your wallet, you're filling your financial space with dead energy. You're surrounding your living money with the remains of things that no longer work. And that energy weighs, it drags, it reduces the vibration of everything it touches. In more than 60 years, I've seen this pattern repeat itself again and again. People with stagnant financial situations, money that wouldn't grow, everything always the same. And many times when I examined their wallets, there they were, expired cards, remnants of the past, stopped energy. I remember the case of Rebecca. She was 49 years old, a real estate agent on the verge of bankruptcy. Her business had been declining for 2 years straight, fewer clients, smaller commissions. She couldn't understand why. She was working harder than ever. I asked to see her wallet. Inside she had 4 expired credit cards. One had been expired for 3 years. 3 years. I asked her, why are you keeping these? She said, I don't know. I just never threw them away. I guess I thought I might need them for reference or something. I said, Rebecca, these cards are corpses. You're carrying financial corpses next to your living money. Do you understand what that does? Every time you open this wallet, you're opening a tomb. She cleaned her wallet that Monday, destroyed every expired card. By Friday of that same week, she received an unexpected call. A developer she had worked with 5 years earlier was starting a new project and wanted her to handle all the sales. It was the biggest deal of her career. Coincidence? No. When you remove what has expired, you create space for what is coming. The Talmud teaches, remove the old before the new can enter. But let me tell you about my own failure with this. When I was 37 years old, I kept an expired library card in my wallet. It had been expired for 14 months. I kept it because it reminded me of a library I used to visit when I was young. Sentimental value. During those 14 months, I had the strangest pattern. Opportunities would come close to me, but they would never quite materialize. A teaching position that almost happened. A book deal that almost got signed. A partnership that almost formed. Everything was almost, but nothing was complete. One evening, my grandfather visited me. He didn't say hello. He just said, "Show me your wallet." I showed him. He pulled out that expired library card and held it up to the light. He said, "How long has this been dead?" I said, "A little over a year." He said, "And how long have your opportunities been dying just before birth?" I felt my stomach drop. He said, "Shimon, you're a teacher of this wisdom, and yet you're violating the most basic law. You cannot hold on to the corpse of the past and expect the living future to embrace you." I destroyed that card that night. Within 19 days, 3 opportunities that had been stalled for months suddenly moved forward. All 3 in less than 3 weeks. What you must do is this. Right now, go through your wallet card by card. If it's expired, destroy it. Don't keep it just in case. Don't save it for reference. Don't hold on to it for sentimental reasons. Your wallet must contain only what is active, valid, and functional. Now you have the 3 revelations, and what follows is the activation step, because without it, the cleaning is not complete. On the first morning after cleaning your wallet, wake up before dawn, when everything is still silent. Take your wallet and hold it in your right hand. In Kabbalah, the right hand represents the channel through which blessing flows into the physical world. Place the wallet against your chest, close to your heart, and say these words out loud, or in silence. This vessel is clean. This vessel is prepared. Abundance flows to me without blockages. Visualize a golden light descending from above, entering the wallet, filling every compartment. Feel the warmth of that light. Feel the weight of abundance entering your life. Before you close the wallet, feel genuine gratitude for every penny you already have, for every opportunity that's on its way, for every blessing that hasn't arrived yet, but is already getting closer. The Talmud calls this hodah, the conscious recognition of what is already yours. Gratitude is the frequency that most rapidly attracts abundance. Hold that visualization for 60 seconds, then put the wallet away and continue with your day, trusting the process. But before we finish, I need to give you 3 critical warnings. If you ignore any of them, you could undo everything you built up to this point. The first is simple but essential. Do not put any of these 3 elements back in your wallet after removing them. This is not a one-time cleaning. It's a constant practice. If you clean today and tomorrow, you put a receipt back in, you've broken the equilibrium. The universe responds to commitment, not to half measures. The second warning: do not tell skeptical people what you're doing. The Talmud teaches that certain interferences appear when you expose something that's still in process, especially in front of those who ridicule it or don't understand it. Do this in silence. Let the results speak for you. And the third, perhaps the most important of all, do not use this practice with wrong intentions. If you're seeking money from anxiety, from comparison, or from greed, this will not work. The Talmud is clear. Wisdom is given to those who know how to use it. Wealth comes with responsibility. Use abundance for something greater than yourself, for your family, for your community, to build something meaningful. Because that is true wealth. The kind that remains, the kind that grows, the kind that leaves a legacy. Now you have in your hands knowledge that has crossed generations. This is not theory, this is not superstition, this is practice, and it works when you apply it. So, keep this clear. Never keep in your wallet anything that represents exit, anything that mixes emotion with money, and anything that has already lost its validity. Your wallet needs to be a clean space, aligned, prepared to receive. And maybe you're not here by accident. Maybe you arrived at this video because you are ready to hear this. Go clean your wallet tonight and watch what happens in the days that follow.